Have you ever walked through the valley of the shadow of death? David did in the 23rd Psalm. He said, and though he walked through the valley of the shadow of death, he feared no evil because God was with him. A few weeks ago, my family and I had the opportunity to visit Niagara Falls. And if you've been there before, you know just the beauty and just the amazing power of all that water rushing over the falls. And one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. It's just breathtaking. And it's a little scary too. As we walked by the handrails at the overlook points, we made sure that we held the hands of our children very tight. And as we walked the paths to the different observation points along the river, some of those places didn't have any handrails, and someone could walk right into the water and get rushed downstream. And it was very scary because that river runs so fast, the Niagara River. And they said on one of the tours or in one of the shops there that about 2 to 3 people a month will go over the falls, and the vast majority don't survive. And that was kind of scary for us. And in the midst of all this power, as we were walking through there was a little bit of a fear that something tragic could happen if we weren't prepared and didn't take precautions. So, is it okay to be afraid sometimes? Should I have felt guilty for holding my children's hands extra tight as we walked close to the falls? You know, there are things in life that merit our concern. The Bible talks a lot about people who had justifiable fears. In John 19, verse 8, after Pilate heard that it was a possibility that the Son of God was standing right in front of him, he was afraid, and rightly so. In Acts 22, the tribune is afraid of the ramifications of having Paul, who is a Roman citizen, bound and ready to be beaten. They had broken a major law, and they were right to have been afraid. And David writes in the 23rd Psalm, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." You notice David doesn't say, "I will fear nothing," just no evil. In that valley, that dark valley where death is a possible outcome, David fears no evil. David's a man of war, and certainly there's concerns for his men. That's why when he goes into battle, he's prepared with a sword and a shield. As a shepherd, he was concerned for his flock, and he defended them against a bear and a lion. He was concerned enough to run when King Saul was chasing him. But David didn't fear evil. He didn't fear the giant Goliath. He knew God would protect him. So what should concern us here on earth? What should we fear? And what should we take proper precaution for? Well, what about our health? It's why we're wearing masks right now. It's why we're keeping social distance and trying to do everything we can to stay well right now. What about safety? It's why we lock our doors at night. It's why we wear seatbelts. How about our finances? It's why we go to work every day, right? About relationships, should we concern ourselves over those? I think it's why we try to strengthen bonds with our spouses and our family and even our friends. It would be totally irresponsible to neglect our health, to neglect our finances, to neglect our safety or our relationships in life. These things and other things in life merit our concern. But what should we not fear? A faithful child of God doesn't have to fear evil. A faithful child of God doesn't have to fear what comes after this life. Should we feel guilty for being afraid sometimes? I don't think so. You know, yesterday I was sitting in my car in a parking lot, and I was looking down at the GPS on my phone to try to figure out where I was at, when a man by mistake opened the passenger side door of my car and sat in my car. And for a moment, I was really afraid, and I felt zero guilt for having that fear for that moment. There are things in life that can cause us momentary fear. And there are also things in life that can bring us momentary happiness. But as Christians, we don't have to worry about momentary fear or momentary happiness stealing our eternal joy. Because yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because thou art with me. I love you. Have a great day.